Hi everyone and welcome back. Everyone tells you to avoid saturated fat, but I'm going to prove to you that inflammation, not fat, is the actual enemy clogging your arteries. If you miss step 1 of my plan, nothing else matters. Let's dive in. Now, you've probably clicked on this video looking for a list of the top 9 foods to unclog your arteries. And yes, I'm going to give you that list, but I'm also going to tell you something far more important. Because honestly, just reading a list of foods without understanding why they work is like putting a tiny sticker on a massive engine leak. It's misleading, and it just doesn't get to the root of the problem. So let's zoom out first and look at the bigger picture, because that's where the real magic happens. The real story behind plaque, the secret you weren't told. All right, let's talk about the biggest health lie we've been fed for the last 50 years. For decades, what did they tell us was clogging our pipes? Butter, eggs, cheese, meat, the saturated fats. We were led to believe that these foods were the sticky, artery-clogging sludge that ends up plastered right inside your blood vessels. And because of that advice, millions of people switched to low-fat diets loaded with, well, often they were loaded with sugar and processed grains. And guess what happened? Heart disease rates didn't exactly plummet, did they? The truth that changes everything. The real truth, the one that modern, undisputed science is screaming, is this. Plaque isn't primarily a fat problem, it's an inflammation problem. Think of plaque as scar tissue. It's the body's defensive response to an attack. You don't get a cut on your arm and immediately it's covered in plaque, right? No, you get inflammation and then you get a scar. Your arteries are the same way. The delicate inner lining of your blood vessel, the endothelium, it's getting constantly irritated and inflamed. The attackers are inside. So who's the enemy here? It's things like dangerously high levels of insulin and glucose from that processed diet. It's chronic stress that raises your cortisol. It's toxins like lead and mercury. And yes, even certain types of bad gut bacteria that can sneak in. These invaders trigger your immune system. Your body rushes to the site, creating an inflammatory response, and it thinks, I need to put a protective layer here. That protective layer? That's your cholesterol and calcium depositing. It's your body forming a band-aid over the damage. It's trying to save you. The silent killer and the ticking bomb. Now, imagine this happening repeatedly in a tiny artery, one that's barely bigger than a pencil lead. You get an injury, a patch-up, more injury, another patch-up. The artery narrows. Some of this buildup is hard and stable, but here is the scariest part. The newest layers are soft plaque. This soft plaque is the ticking bomb. Why? Because when you've got high blood pressure or a sudden spike in stress, those sheer forces can cause the soft, vulnerable spot to rupture. The moment that tear happens, your body throws the emergency brake. It sends in platelets and clotting factors, and you get a massive, immediate blood clot. And that, my friends, is how you end up with a heart attack or a stroke. The underlying trigger for this whole cascade? Chronic inflammation, relentless oxidative stress, and the genetics that get flipped on by a diet packed with sugar, processed food, and unstable seed oils. The 3-step master plan for clean arteries. So forget the miracle cure mindset. We need an actionable, holistic strategy. Here is the powerful 3-step approach we use to truly master heart health. Step 1. Stop the junk. This is the most crucial step. There's no superfood, no supplement that can undo the bad things you keep putting in. If you keep triggering the inflammatory process, adding turmeric or garlic won't fix the core problem. We must stop the things that cause inflammation and oxidative stress. Sugar, the #1 enemy. Grains, especially refined. Vegetable or seed oils, highly unstable and inflammatory. Processed foods, toxins and chronic stress. You're aiming to remove the things that damage your LDL. Remember, LDL itself isn't bad. It's damaged, oxidized LDL that's the problem. Step 2. Add good foundation foods. Once you've removed the junk, you have to build a solid foundation. This is where we add any form of real food, both animal and plant. Animal products, these are neutral to inflammation. They provide the genuine replacement parts your body needs, high-quality building blocks for tissues. Plants, these are critical for fiber, phytonutrients, and most importantly, polyphenols, compounds shown to actively reduce inflammation. Essential fats, the body needs omega-3s to regulate inflammation. While you can get ALA from things like flax, the active forms your body truly wants are EPA and DHA, which you get directly from fish. Step 3. Targeted medicinal support. After steps 1 and 2 are solid, now we can think about medicinal properties and targeted support. This is where the top 9 foods list finally comes in, primarily focusing on steps 2 and 3. The top 9 pillars to protect your heart. These aren't magic pills, they are powerful tools to build resilience and fight inflammation, assuming you've crushed step 1. 1. Fatty fish, the ultimate omega-3 source. Why? Provides clean protein and massive doses of the anti-inflammatory fats EPA and DHA. Examples: salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Tip: always look for wild-caught fish to ensure the best fat ratio and minimal contaminants. 2. Healthy animal products. Why? Grass-fed or pasture-raised meat, stable fats that don't provoke inflammation. Examples: grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, butter, and fermented dairy like kefir. The myth: these foods are often unfairly villainized, but they are highly stable and vital for building healthy cell membranes. 3. Nuts and seeds, ALA and fiber power. Why? Excellent sources of fiber and ALA, plus they keep you full so you eat less junk. Examples: flax, chia, hemp, and walnuts. Tip: these are perishable. Ensure your seeds and oils are fresh, not rancid. 4. Leafy greens. Why? High nutrient density, high fiber, and extremely low carb, a foundational food. Examples: kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, romaine, arugula, and spinach. 5. Cruciferous vegetables, cruciferous detox heroes. Why? Cruciferous vegetables contain glucosinolates that reduce inflammation and help cleanse the liver, the central hub for metabolic disease. Examples: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. 6. Polyphenols, plant-based anti-inflammatories. Why? These beneficial phytochemicals occur in hundreds of foods and actively reduce systemic inflammation. Examples: blueberry, strawberry, walnut, almond, extra virgin olive oil, black tea, green tea, cocoa, cloves, and oregano. Crucial warning: be careful. Other polyphenol sources are super high in sugar, pomegranate, dates. If you are metabolically unhealthy, you cannot afford to add that sugar just for the polyphenol benefit. You'll undo all your progress. 7. Herbal compounds, natural medicines. Why? Highly concentrated anti-inflammatory properties. Examples: curcumin from turmeric and resveratrol from grapes, blueberries, mulberries, cranberries. Use them fresh as a food ingredient. 8. Fish oil supplement, EPA DHA boost. Why? If you don't eat fish daily, a supplement ensures you get high amounts of EPA for vascular health and DHA, the essential building block for your brain. DHA can help with focus, anxiety, and stress management, indirectly reducing inflammation. 9. B vitamins, homocysteine control. Why? They act as catalysts in energy production and, most critically, they help convert the highly pro-inflammatory compound homocysteine into a harmless substance. Your takeaway: the path to clear arteries isn't about magical foods, it's about shifting your entire lifestyle. Step 1 is non-negotiable. Stop putting in the things that cause inflammation. Once that foundation is set, steps 2 and 3, adding clean, nutrient-dense foods and targeted supplements, can truly help your body heal itself and build resilience. If you truly want to master your health, you have to understand how your body actually works. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another valuable and useful video. Thanks for watching.